I don't know what just happened. Fall Guys delayed the update, but they made it all worth it. I'm not going to waste your time. Here's exactly what they said. We're launching back into space. STARCHART and Cosmic Highway are now both unvaulted, and you can blast off with them in the 321 space show. We're also extending our current Fame Pass and pausing ranked while our beings orbit the Blunderdome, but our new ranked cycle and Fame Pass are coming soon. What the heck? STARCHART has been gone for 418 days, and Cosmic Highway is literally at 999 days, but Mediatonic really decided to compensate us for delaying the update with this. Genuinely, this is one of the craziest things to happen recently in Fall Guys. There's also a secret third unvault that might be coming that I've got to mention later. I was so ready to be upset about the update being delayed, but now I feel like 7 days in order to get these 2 peak levels back is all worth it. Let's go into more detail because there's a few extra things that happened, and also we can talk a bit about why this happened and what will happen with the next update, which is now set for Tuesday the 29th of July 2025. So Fall Guys delayed the update because they wanted to give me more chance to upload my ranked cycle 2 videos before they're irrelevant. Okay, I'm kidding. They've given me room for that. My first video is almost done and you should turn on notifications for it, but that's obviously not the reason. They didn't specify a reason, but I think the easiest assumption is that they just needed more time to iron out some bugs and stuff in it. The game had a lot of performance issues and whatnot recently. I think it's fair to say that they are making sure those are fixed before launch, because some platforms like PS4 seem borderline unplayable at this point, at least from what I've heard. So if that's the reason, good on them. More notice would have been nice, but hey, these unvaults absolutely make up for it. Again, I can't stress this enough. STARCHART after over 400 days and Cosmic Highway after just shy of 1000 is one of the best things to happen. Speaking of those 2 unvaults, where can you play them? Unfortunately, they have not been added to knockout or ranked. The only places are solos, duos and squads, but I guess that's okay. They were also added back to the vault show in customs. Yep, that's right. These are 2 vaulted levels that were so forbidden by Mediatonic that they even got removed from the show where you're meant to have vaulted levels. They also added back Bubble Trouble to the vault randomly. I guess they forgot to do that before when they unvaulted it a while ago, but fair enough for finally remembering. Perhaps the most exciting thing with customs specifically though is that they attempted to add Sweet Thieves back to them. The only problem is that they didn't configure it correctly and it doesn't actually show up. Mediatonic, Epic Games, anyone, if you're watching this, please get that sorted. Let us play Sweet Thieves in customs like I know you definitely tried to do here. You just didn't quite succeed. I'd love to see it there. But anyway, successfully added back to customs was 321 space, which we should talk about more now. As hinted in the start of this video, 321 space is returning to the show selector starting on Tuesday the 22nd of July 2025, which is the original time the new update was meant to launch, but come on, we can't complain about this. All 8 levels from SS2 are now in here, and this is actually the second time this has ever been available. Of course, the first time being when SS2 first launched. This show was lost for so long because of Space Race being removed 3 weeks into the season, and of course plenty of other levels followed, so when they brought a Space Race back years later, it wasn't ready to play at all. But finally, after close to 3 years, it does return. This is a squads-based show with all 8 SS2 levels. Cosmic Highway, Frantic Factory, Hyperdrive Heroes, Pixel Painter, Space Race, and STARCHART can be round 1 or 2. Then the final can either be Hexaterrestrial, meh, or Tiptoe Finale, absolute peak. Technically, there's a 9th SS2 level Treat Thieves, but obviously that can't fit into any other show, and Mediatonic is really adamant on not bringing it back if it's not Halloween, even for customs for some reason. So we'll say all the SS2 levels are back, at least all the space-themed levels, I guess. Speaking of space-themed, the space-themed lobby background is also coming. You might recall that we got the stadium-themed background from SS1 when they brought out the Fall Guys Games LTM. Pretty much the same thing is happening here. We're getting the space-themed lobby background for the last week of this update to match this glorious mode. But anyway, along with this show returning are its challenges. There's the usual weeklies that I'm sure you've come to expect if you've been playing the game recently, just for some extra fame, but there's also new Kudos challenges involving 321 space, so if you need to afford some stuff like the Kudos Mastery costumes, which are also now available for an extra week since they leave with the new update, these should help you if you can complete these challenges in this show. So the update being delayed means that they extended the Fame Pass, daily challenges, extended the show schedule with 321 space, extended the shops and stuff like that. But one thing they didn't extend is the ranked knockout cycle. This will still be ending on Tuesday the 22nd of July, tomorrow at the time of uploading, and ranked is going to disappear for a week until the new update a week later on the 29th of July when cycle 3 will commence. Personally, I only half understand this. They want ranked cycles to be 8 weeks, but I don't see the harm in extending it if an update was unexpectedly delayed. Maybe I'm complaining because I still haven't finished recording my video getting to Superstar, and I'm really gonna have to rush that as soon as I'm done with this one, but I didn't expect to have to make today. Anyway, this should in theory mean that you will get your ranked rewards when you load up after the cycle ends, even though the next one technically didn't begin yet. So you'll get the Snow Owl if you're in Star or Superstar, enjoy your ranks emoticon if you're Gold or above, and of course enjoy a varying amount of crowns and kudos at any rank, just depending on which one you reached. With ranked being being unavailable for a week though, they had to adjust the daily challenge pool a bit by removing all the ranked challenges from it. It will return to the way it was after the next update starts, so yeah, small thing, but confirmation next update has the same daily challenges as this update. Some people will not like that, but remember they can also get changed in the middle of updates, so that doesn't mean too much. I guess final thing is talking about the next update, and to be honest, not a whole lot leaked, but I'll do my best to do what I can. Normally you'd expect one unvault every update since that's been the pattern, but this time I would not expect that at all. We just got 2 insane unvaults and they attempted to do Sweet Thieves 2. I have a feeling Cosmic Highway was actually planned for the update tomorrow, especially since that would have been the 1000 day mark of it being vaulted, as you might know if you saw this short of mine, but they decided to do that early and they just had STARCHART also ready for if anything like this happened, where they desperately needed an extra unvault to make us happy. We could still be surprised next week and see something like Puzzle Path return, but don't get your hopes up this time is my advice. What I can say though is that they dropped a hint for the next update officially. Search out your sunglasses and start packing your suitcases. Tropical tides are on their way soon. So clearly it's a summer or tropical type update, which obviously makes sense since we're getting close to the height of summer at this point, at least in the northern hemisphere. New updates always mean a new background, new levels, new decorations, all of that following the theme, so you can just kind of envision what an update called Tropical Tide might look like. Oh, and the Fame Pass will be themed around it too, obviously. I'm sure they will give the Fame Pass a very cool name, and it totally won't be called Fame Pass July 25 like they always do. That was sarcasm, by the way. They will definitely call it that. But yeah, there were summer/beach kind of costumes in the game's files from the last update, which hinted towards this already. And there were also cosmetics themed around the game's 5th anniversary, which will be on the 4th of August. So I have a feeling there's going to be a big event. The only problem is that it's only 6 days after the update launches now because of a delay, so they might struggle to fit it in along with the update launch LTM and event and stuff like that. But I really hope they can manage, because 5 years of Fall Guys is very special and really should be celebrated. Like, this is just a few of the cosmetics they added on screen right now. This has surely got to be something big, right? And you can expect the usual: new Kudos Mastery costumes, new levels, new features, new rank cycle, new knockout pool, which also applies to ranked, the new event, and LTM like I just mentioned, and other stuff like some new cosmetics in the store, maybe some old LTMs returning and or getting updated at some point during the update, and a new LTM halfway through like we had with stuff like Wilderness Falls and most recently Fall Guys games. Hopefully this time it'll be closer to Wilderness Falls, where they feature a lot more community levels. Please, Mediatonic, I'm begging. And also I'm praying for new music. I still miss the Fallen Fantasy update, where they not only did new in-game music but also new menu music, a new loading screen jingle, and a qualification screen jingle. It might be too much to ask, and to be honest it's more of a hope than an expectation, but this would really bring out the tropical and summer vibes though, I think. I can honestly imagine hearing some sounds of the beach in the loading screen. That'd be so cool. Maybe I'm going on a bit of a tangent, but I'm just really excited for this update and I hope you are too. Of course, you can trust me to make more videos as soon as anything else gets revealed, or if the update just gets shadow dropped, I'll get to work as quickly as possible on making a video when it launches on the 29th of July. Well, I guess it's not shadow dropped if they technically announced it here with this delay, but you know what I mean. If they don't tease or mention it again beyond this until the update drops, then you'll still be able to look out for my video on the launch day playing the new levels and checking out the new stuff, you know, stuff like that, as I always do. Well, good job for anyone who needs to finish a Fame Pass and stuff still. You've got an extra week, but for me, I better get going on this last day of a rank cycle that they refuse to extend. I'll see you all soon for these tropical tides and have a couple extra videos in the meantime.